It's really an age-old conflict when it boils down to it, fifth wheel or travel trailer. And you're gonna meet RVers who swear by one or the other, and rightly so. But today, we're gonna talk about the differences between the two and try to find one that's right for you. Now, when it comes to travel trailers, they're generally more affordable and lightweight, giving you a lot more options when it comes to towing, especially if you're using an SUV, compact truck, or even a minivan. Meanwhile, fifth wheels, which offer that split level design, taller interior heights, smoother towing, and a higher cargo capacity, they're luxury on wheels. The question's really gonna boil down to what's right for you and why. Let's start with some key differences between the two types of towable campers, the fifth wheel and the travel trailer. Might as well start right here, right? I mean, I'm already here. Now, perhaps most notably, the fifth wheels offer that split level design like I mentioned, compared to single level travel trailers. This means sometimes you'll have steps from the living area into the bedroom, and sometimes even from the living area into the kitchen. Fifth wheels are also much taller than travel trailers, meaning you'll often find larger bunk rooms or lofts in their floor plans. The result is that fifth wheels often feel more residential. And it's partly why they have a reputation for being so luxurious. I mean, just look at this, solid surface countertops, the whole nine. Fifth wheels are pretty much the pinnacle of camping. On the other hand, with travel trailers, which some of them can still be luxurious, you're gonna find most of the lightest, smallest, and most affordable RVs that are available out there. This means you can expand your options for towing with things like smaller trucks, SUVs, and even minivans. And some shorter models expand that campground selection by allowing you to fit into sites that have those short limits, like for example, state parks. Now, just because many travel trailers are often smaller and more affordable than fifth wheels doesn't mean that they always lack luxury. Just take a look around. Both fifth wheels and travel trailers run the gamut from entry level to peak luxury. Don't let misconceptions fool you. What we should do now is dig into some of the differences between the two to help you choose which is going to be right for you. And I think we should start with the most important, towing. Most RV buyers, especially when they're new, want to narrow their search based on what they can tow safely. So let's talk a little bit about those towing considerations. Fifth wheels have what's known as a kingpin that's going to connect to the hitch inside your truck bed, meaning you're going to need something like a full-size or heavy-duty truck. And the front is called the cap. The kingpin, which is the part that connects to the hitch in your truck bed, is underneath this front cap. But travel trailers, they actually connect to a hitch ball that extends from a receiver under the tow vehicle's rear bumper. This style of hitch receiver can be installed in various vehicle types, whether from the factory or even as an aftermarket installation. The ball is just going to connect right there. Now, our towing guide, which I'll drop a link down in the description for you that'll help out, it's a great resource for you to use when checking your vehicle's towing capacities. Also, consider the payload capacity before buying a fifth wheel or the tongue capacity before buying a travel trailer. And if you want to know the best place to find both, it's going to be in the owner's manual of your tow vehicle. Let me give you a few simple takeaways. When fully loaded, your gross trailer weight, that's tanks, cargo, and everything, must be less than your vehicle's rated towing capacity. For fifth wheels, the pin or hitch weight must be less than your vehicle's payload capacity. And for travel trailers, the tongue or hitch weight must be less than the vehicle's tongue weight capacity. Many experienced RV owners adhere to what's known as the 80% rule, which states that your gross trailer weight should not exceed 80% of your tow vehicle's rated towing capacity to help minimize the stress on things like your engine, the brakes, the chassis, suspension, and other components. So let's keep those tips in mind and let's dive into each RV type and let's talk about what they're good at and what they lack, aka the pros and cons. Starting with the advantages of this beauty right here, fifth wheels. One of the main pros of a fifth wheel, they're easier to tow. Because the fifth wheel sits in a truck bed, the weight is more evenly distributed on the tow vehicle. That makes it a lot easier to do things like back up, navigate turns, and there's a lot less sway and much more control. Plus, it's going to be shorter total length. Even with fifth wheels being, much bigger, the total length from the truck's front bumper to the rear of the RV is shorter because, as you can see, several feet of the cab is going to sit over the truck bed. Another bonus, more exterior storage. Most fifth wheel manufacturers use what's called a drop frame construction in their designs. This actually allows them to add much larger underneath storage compartments than what you're going to find in a lot of travel trailers, often with access from both sides, and I gotta tell you, that's pretty handy. Fifth wheels usually have more amenities because they're generally larger, so they can offer more amenities. Things like a kitchen island, washer and dryer hookups, multiple sleeping areas, residential appliances, and a whole lot more. Another pro to fifth wheels, interior living space. As I mentioned, fifth wheels offer spacious living areas, kitchens, bedrooms. The ceilings are much taller, making them feel even bigger on the inside. Luxury fifth wheels can feel like upscale apartments with those residential appliances, solid wood finishes, and just the look and flow. And now let's talk about some fifth wheel disadvantages. Number one, they're larger and heavier. While more interior space is advantageous, heavier fifth wheels require heavy-duty trucks, which granted, they're costly to purchase and maintain. Fifth wheels are also taller, so you have to plan driving routes extremely carefully to avoid low clearances and low bridges. Another disadvantage, they're more expensive. There are some budget-friendly options out there, but you are going to lose some amenities and some space. Another disadvantage, you're going to lose some storage in your truck bed. Because a fifth wheel hitch is bolted to the bed or the frame, you're going to lose some of that storage space even when your RV is disconnected. Plus, it's really cumbersome and difficult to remove that hitch, and it's extremely heavy, so do you really want to be taking it in and out every time you camp? And while I'm here, another disadvantage, hitch installation for fifth wheels is a little bit more difficult because it requires professional installation. The setup is more complicated than that simple ball and hitch of a travel trailer because it is bolted into your truck bed. Another disadvantage, less spontaneity. Because of their larger size, fifth wheels do make it more difficult to access certain campgrounds. Most of them aren't really built for off-road towing, and driving these beauties to more remote locations is going to be a bit difficult because of the added length and height. Now let's talk about some advantages for these little cuties right here, the travel trailers. One big advantage, they're lightweight. Because travel trailers are usually lighter than fifth wheels, you're gonna have a lot more towing options, especially if you own things like an SUV, large sedan, minivan, or light duty truck. You might not have to upgrade your truck to find a travel trailer that's gonna fit your towing capacity. That is pretty sweet. Another nice advantage is gonna be a travel trailer's smaller size. They can actually be more aerodynamic because they have a smaller height profile than fifth wheels, and their smaller length and height can also give you a lot more campground options, especially if you're thinking national parks or even boondocking. Another advantage, you're gonna maintain that truck bed storage. You're still gonna have full use of the truck bed and access to things like hatch of the SUV. Since travel trailers offer less storage, this is gonna be essential when hauling that camping gear. Another nice advantage is going to be easier hitch installation. Because the hitch ball isn't permanently attached to your vehicle, installing this is going to be much simpler, even factoring the need of things like a weight distribution hitch, which may require professional installation in some cases. Once you're home, you can remove the hitch components and set them aside until your next trip. Probably my favorite bonus is they're cheaper. Travel trailers are generally cheaper than fifth wheels, which is one of the main reasons they're the best selling RV type. They fit into budgets of most RVers and still offer all those essentials that you need to make sure your camping trip is comfortable and enjoyable. But like anything, there are some downsides to travel trailers, and let's talk about them. Disadvantage number one, travel trailers are a little bit more difficult to tow and control. Since a travel trailer is attached to the very end of the vehicle, it can be more difficult to control. You have increased sway because most tongue weight is behind the rear axle. This is one reason to choose a weight distribution hitch with sway control, and trust me, it is worth it. Another potential disadvantage for some people is going to be smaller size. There's less living space. Smaller bathrooms, smaller bedrooms, fewer storage options. Sometimes it's the deal breaker when choosing between a fifth wheel and a travel trailer because how much stuff you need to take and how many people are going with you. Another potential disadvantage is fewer amenities. A travel trailer generally won't offer the same amenities as a fifth wheel. Smaller, more affordable campers will pretty much only have the basics. While there are certainly luxury travel trailers that have those high-end finishes, nice touches, generally they offer less than what you're going to get inside of a fifth wheel. Ultimately, fifth wheels and travel trailers are the most popular RV segment, and for good reason. They offer a ton of options for different floor plans, different features, construction elements, interior designs. It's mind-boggling, but it's also amazing. So while I hope this video has helped you learn a little bit more about the pros and cons of fifth wheels versus travel trailers, we know that your RV search is just now getting started. So we're gonna put some links to several other helpful guides in the description down below. Because at the end of the day, I know it's gonna be you finding the one that you love. And please, rv.campingworld.com is the best place to search. While you're there, and while you're here, let me know what factors are most important to you. Is it towing, price, living space? Drop me a comment, and while you're doing that, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and notify to stay updated to what's coming up next. You never know, get home from work, RV of your dreams, waiting for you in your email inbox. I'm Chris Young for Camping World. Thank you for joining me for Fifth Wheels versus Travel Trailers. I'll see you soon, and happy camping.